Alright, so in this section we're talking about the risks to the landlord, to the investor. And unfortunately one of the biggest risks is tenants. After all, you're letting some complete strangers live in one of your properties, which is a fairly foolish thing to do. So tenants not paying rent is probably first on the list of risks. It takes forever to get tenants out. You can do a Section 8 notice, which is a month's notice, but they're easily challenged, so nobody uses them. So everybody uses a Section 21 notice, which is the no fault notice. That takes 2 months. And then councils will generally advise tenants, even though they deny this, that they stay put until the bailiffs turn up. So you've not got your rent for a month or two, it's a couple of months to serve the notice. Then you got to get the bailiffs, then you got to go to court. So yeah, it's a long protracted process. If tenants stop paying you rent, you're probably looking at least 6 months, if not more, not getting rent. So it is a big risk. So do your tenant referencing properly. It's which sector of the market you want to be in. DSS, HMOs, obviously going to have bigger default rates. There's also the tenants themselves. If they're foreign nationals and they don't pay the rent, they'll probably just go home. There's nothing you can do about it. If they're UK nationals, you can take them to court and you can always come back at a later date and claim that money back. So if you're letting to professional tenants and they don't pay, you might down the road be able to get your rent back, but it's one of those things, don't hold your breath, but you never know. But yeah, there's problems. The universal credit DSS ones, you'll never get that back. Foreign nationals, you never get that back. UK national with a decent job or prospects of a decent job, yeah, wait a few years and then go after them. But equally with the rents, if you are in sort of the student market, getting rent guarantors to cover you for that. Parents will step in and say, yeah, we'll guarantee rents. That's pretty much the case there. But there's not a whole lot you can do. Reference your tenants properly. And I hate to say it, is monitor the rent. If you don't hit the day it's meant to be straight on to them, show them that they can't mess around with the rents. Now, I've had 2 bad tenants in all the years I've done it. One was a property up in the north of England. It was income support tenant, so the rents was paid for them. Unfortunately, at that time they changed the system, so they paid the money to the tenant rather than the landlord directly. That didn't work because the tenant spent it on booze instead, had to evict them, so that didn't really work for anyone. And then the second time was unfortunately someone started subletting the flat. It was a 2-bedroom flat and he had 3 families in there, and then for one reason or another the rent stopped coming in, and then I had to evict people that weren't even my tenants. And thanks to Shelter, they got good advice and they were told to stay until the bailiff turned up. So I had to go through all the court expenses and what have you. So yeah, the law is very much on the tenant's side when it comes to eviction, and even if they're not paying rent. So yeah, just be careful. Some of it's luck of the draw, some of it's the market sector you're in, but do make sure you do decent tenant referencing, and then hopefully that way you minimise that risk. Well, I hope that was useful. See you on the next one. Bye bye. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Thanks. See you on the next one.